I ain't right, I'm back. Follow me, but don't double tap. I ain't liking that. You subscribe, I monetize. Now who's striking that? Wanna see the contract? Who got the rights to that? It's my story. I spent my whole life on life. Time's up. Shador Sanders with the rollie in the armor. I could do this shit with my eyes closed. The main attraction don't come at me with no side show. I'm selling high, they wanna buy low.
What's popping, baby? What's popping? What's good? What's going on with y'all, man? It's Tuesday morning. The cook up. We in the kitchen. We feeling good, looking good, like always. You know, I had my boy Rock doing the controls this morning, man. My boy is stepping his game up every day, every episode, man. I'm making sure my boy is ready for game day. So, again, welcome to the cook up, man. We in this thing. Rock, how you feeling today, Playboy?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty freaking excited for today's show. We're going to be continuing the scouting series, and we got the good people here. I'm excited to do this show with you and just to cook up with the people.
That's it.
Had a pretty decent weekend. How about yours?
It was cool, bro. Regular, normal weekend for me. My nephew's birthday celebration, so kicked it with the fam a little bit. His weather, man, it went from like drenching sweat, hot on Saturday to this morning, bro. I had a hoodie, coat, sweatpants, like it's crazy, man. So you know, the God is playing lottery numbers right now with the weather, bro. It might hit 85, you might hit 32. You never know till you wake up and see, man. So it's one of them weekends though. But it was cool, bro. No complaints. A lot going on in the sports world. So I will say now that the NCAA is done, if you was into that and you had your bracket going on. If anybody won their bracket, leave it in the comments, man. We would like a super chat today if you don't mind. But yeah, man, those bracket winners, oh, my boy Rock, man. He over there.
I'm sorry, I'm messing with
you. It's all good, bro. But yeah, man, you know, we here today, man. Had a good old weekend, good time for that sports stuff. And yeah, man, no complaints from me, brother. I'm alive and life is good. I can't complain. So I was waiting for some people to jump into the chat, man. But before they jump in, man, you know, what's going on with you, bro? What you got new coming up? Anything going on? Anything you looking forward to with us or yourself this week before we jump into the show?
So before, you know, I was prepping for this show yesterday. I spent all day yesterday just putting the final little touches on my rankings for what is it called? Rookies. Sorry about that. I'm getting over being a little bit sick. I might not be here all the way through, but we're going to power through it and stuff like that. But no, yesterday spent hours and hours on my rookie process, putting in the next gen stats. That's going to be the new thing that I really implement this year. They have a lot of really cool stuff in their database from the combine and stuff like that. So looking at their stuff, really, really cool. And then looking at what some of the experts in the space between Matt Harmon, Steve Smith Sr., all these experts, they're going to start putting their rankings up. And I have a lot of respect for the people that watch the game and analyze the game. So I'm going to be putting their stuff in my process as well.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the biggest things that I'm looking forward to. Just putting the last little touches on my rookie scouting.
That's what's up, man. I know how you get down, brother. So I look forward to seeing it because I trust your process. We got, I believe, 15 or 16 days to the NFL draft. So we almost there, man. We almost there. Let's see what we got going on. My boy Dynasty Football Key, good to see you, my brother. I ain't seen you in a while. Glad to see you here, man. You know, we got to link up soon, bro. We got 6 rings in the building, man. He was here early. He said, hope the Dreams, the Hunter, and the Patriots get looks like they're about to be crushed. So you got any fantasy value with the Browns? Seem like the number 2 pick at this point. I don't know, bro. I say this. The one thing I will say about the Browns is they need another receiver. So if you look at all the stuff that he did at Pro Day, now one time did he run backwards? He was running forward. So receivers run forward, DBs move backwards. So if there's any hope that Hunter would play receiver or a little bit more receiver, hey, man, we saw it at this Pro Day. But we're going to get into that 6 range. But, yeah, the Browns do need more pass catchers. So if that's any help for you with the Browns, man, your Patriots, though, they look pretty cooked, my man. So too bad for you, man. You might get Abdul Carter, though, man. You never know. You never know. Jake, he in the building pre-gaming, man. Pops is in here partying. My boy Six Green said, man, you and your Pablo Escobar, man. What's up with that, Rock? He said, you watching Narcos or what, man?
I absolutely love that show, and I love Pablo Escobar and in that show. There's so many good memes that come out of that show with him, especially when he's sitting by himself, all sad and shit, like no one showed up to his birthday.
The funniest part is when he got the Cowboys hat on. The meme.
Yeah,
that's when I use all
that one. Yeah, that one's awesome. But no, when I put this shirt on, honestly, I think of my dad. I bet if my dad saw this shirt, he'd be like, "Oh, that's a very nice shirt. I think I have the exact same one. Oh, wow." So that's probably what we would say. I'm channeling my dad. I don't know if you're like that, where the older you get, the more that you dress like your dad. I don't know if you have that same thing as I do.
Nah, man. My father is one way only, man. He rocking Adidas, and I ain't really a big Adidas guy. So Pops got his own style. He'll tell you straight up, you can't do it like me, so I ain't even gonna try to do it like him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let him do him, and I'm gonna keep doing me, Rock. But D-Walk say he catch us later, man. We appreciate you, D, in the building, man. Appreciate you, my boy. So anybody that's watching on X2, man, come over YouTube, man. Hit that link, brother. Show us a little bit of love, and we appreciate you. But either way, we still glad y'all tapped in. But Rock, man, we ain't gonna hold him up too long, man. We had to show him a little bit of love, and
let's get into it.
See what was popping though, man. So I'm gonna let you break it, hook us up, man, with that. There we go, man. Topic number one, baby. Topic number one: the national champions on the women's side of the ball. Hey, man, UConn did their thing. I know you're not the biggest basketball enthusiast, though, Rock. So I ain't gonna hold you to any comments, but I will say, they went out there and they handled business, man. I don't think it was a lot of people that could write down and say they actually picked them to win. You're gonna have some to come out now, but a lot of people had USC before Juju got hurt. They had Texas. They had even South Carolina. I mean, South Carolina, we all know, is the big dogs in college right now on the women's side. But UConn said, we're not doing that, man. My girl Paige held it down. This is her last year. And I can pull up a couple of stats for you, man. She's the fastest UConn player to hit 2K points, 3-time Big East Player of the Year. Most improved, most overall player of all the time in the Big East. Let me see.
Barely read that.
I'm about to say I can't
read all these little banners.
All I'm gonna say is, man, she got a whole lot of trophies, man. You know what I'm saying? 3-time first All-American national champion. WNBA is up next, baby. So
wait, Fizz, I got you. All right, now I can see it.
That's what I'm saying, man. Hook me up, Rob. Hook me up, man. I'm trying my best, brother. But yeah, long story short, though, man, they got 12 banners out there for a reason out there in UConn, man, and we had to show them a little bit of love. We can't get too deep into it because, unfortunately, we're not gonna speak on too much that we don't know. But shout out to them. Shout out my girl Paige. I do know, and I do know the WNBA ticket prices will go up a little bit more once she come over there. So be ready, and shout out to her, man. She's definitely picked 101 this year, no question. Backing that up, going to the men's side. Going to the men's side, man. You had the Florida Gators come through last night, man. I missed this game. Rock, I don't know why it is, bro. I was looking on TV last night. I never watched TV. And I'm like, damn, I don't know what to watch. Then I woke up this morning and saw that the championship game was on. I was like, damn, I could have watched the game. So I watched the Duke game on Saturday. Duke gave up, I believe, like 6 points in 90 seconds, bro, and lost that game, which was crazy work, man. There's no way Duke should have lost that game, but they lost. And overall, man, Florida Gators, they won, man. I can't sit here and tell you I even know much about what's going on in the men's basketball department. The Florida Gators, shout out to them. I don't know many players on the team. I'm still thinking about Joakim Noah. Those are my times, like 2008, 2009.
Like
I know
years
those
ago.
Al Horford, you know what I'm saying? This right here, I have no clue what's going on. But shout out to the dudes, shout out to the bros. We love to see, man, champions. So shout out to Florida. I'm a Florida State guy, but when it comes to basketball, I'm a Maryland guy. So if anybody, again, won their bracket, man, go ahead, talk your talk, man. And funny story though, Rob. My mother, she do it fell off, man.
Disappointed.
One thing I will say, Pops would always have me on the Maryland championship runs. Back Juan Dixon is my boy Steve. I didn't forgot his name already. Dang, I forget my boy Steve's name. But anyway, what up, Voorhees, man, my brother. That Maryland run though, it had the city on fire, man. That was my favorite times of the NBA. Back when ACC had Duke, right? Once they started switching up all these conferences, bro, it messed up everything. I believe college on both sides, football and basketball, I believe has lost a lot due to them selling their souls for money, man. So it is what it is. I'm glad they at least paying the players because that's what they deserve, man. So we want to show a little bit of love to the champions, man. But overall, we think we're going to move on. One last champion, though. You know, I had to rep for the home team. My boy Ovechkin came through. And this is a pretty serious stat right here, Rock. I mean, he broke the record of Wayne Gretzky with the same amount of games played. Like, that's tough, man. Apparently, wearing red, white, and blue, it means you're going to be a champion and be one of the greatest, right? Because they both wore that red, white, and blue on their colors, man. But
isn't that crazy? The exact same number of games, exact same number. Isn't that
crazy, bro? Crazy, man. And Ovechkin, man, he was definitely one of them dudes, man. Overall career goals scored on each team.
He is an ugly mother.
Ovechkin pretty much dominated, man, everybody, man. Unless you was in Utah, he ain't scored too much on you to, one of them teams. But I had to represent, man. I wore my Ovechkin championship jersey today, man. I had to hold it down for the home team. Probably the only home team I could really rep around these parts, man. But shout out my boy Ovech, man. He holding it down. One of the greatest to ever do it, man. So we done got through college. We done got through hockey, Rock. It's time to get to the real stuff, man. So without further ado, bro, let's get it cracking. We into the football thing. And go ahead and drop that for us, bro.
Oh, another one?
Shit. Next topic, hot topic, man. Yesterday or maybe 2 days ago, I read a report about Breece Hall. They said Breece Hall could be on a trade block. First, they said that they want a 3-head monster in the backfield in New York, right? And I'm thinking, damn, that's okay. All right, maybe that makes sense, right? Because Braylon Allen was definitely he looks like a tank, man. Braylon Allen is pretty tough when he run the ball. Maybe you want to figure something out, cool. But we all know Breece Hall is one of those guys. They knocking him, saying he hasn't had 1,000-yard rushing season, this, that, and the third. But I mean, let's be real, Rock. When you look at Breece Hall, when you look at his surrounding cast with Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers playing on one leg and a half, I mean, the guy never stood a chance to hit 1,000 yards. When you losing by 40 points a game, how you gonna run for 1,000 yards? So I really don't understand that take. But long story short, they said on the draft day, if Ashton Genty is available, it's a possibility that the Jets draft Genty and trade Breece Hall. My biggest thing when I heard that is, well, would it really make sense to replace a running back for a running back? One, right? Because Breece Hall is there. The only way this makes sense is if they really have offers on the table and people are willing to pay a good price, and if you don't want to pay Breece Hall because his contract is coming up in a year, that all would make sense. But for me to spend the number 7 overall pick for a running back when I have a running back who's a Pro Bowl guy in a sense, I just don't see what are we doing? Like, are we playing Dynasty? Are we down tiering and moving? Like, what are we doing here with this move? You sent me something earlier. Even Breece Hall don't know what's going on, man. My boy Breece said, "What the hell is this?" He posted a monkey and a cigarette looking at the phone like, huh? Where did this news come from? So when you think about Breece Hall, man, you think about Ashton Genty possibly being a replacement. What's your thoughts on that, man? And if Breece Hall is to get moved, let's say, where your mind going at, man? Like, is anybody really paying the price for him, or are they?
This reminds me, it's kind of like Game of Thrones type of subterfuge. It's smokescreen season. It is difficult to discern what is real at this time of the year, Fizz, and what's fake.
It is.
So they have Braylon Allen. They even have Isaiah Davis, too, who was also great last year. And Breece is an elite running back. So this wouldn't be a 3-headed monster. This would be a 4-headed monster.
And Rob, they got Justin Fields. He going to run the ball,
and they got Justin Fields, too. So I think it's more likely, with it being smokescreen season, that the Jets are stirring up shit. Yeah. They're stirring up the teams behind them to trade up at number 7 in the off chance that the Raiders do not go Ashton Genty at number 6. So they don't go Ashton Genty at number 6, and the Jets are there at number 7. You better believe that there are going to be teams that are interested in coming up to get Ashton Genty. He is that great of a running back. He is that great of a prospect. And I think he's one of the best players, one of the can't-miss players in this draft. But let's just be real. If, on chance, they do draft him and they keep Breece Hall, would it be such a bad thing? It would kind of remind me of the Ohio State backfield with both Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah.
We both consider, everyone I think considers locked in. Both of them are top 5 prospects in this class at running back. So would it be such a terrible thing if Breece Hall, does miss? I think he sent that meme because he doesn't want to necessarily be traded. I don't know if he would necessarily hate sharing the backfield with Ashton Genty because it would be a little bit less off him. He could be more fresh and he could pop off those long runs or take those screens, 60 yards for a touchdown. So what do you think of that analogy with maybe being more like the Ohio State backfield? Would you hate that?
I mean, I wouldn't hate it at all. I would hate it for Garrett Wilson and, the fact that Justin Fields is their quarterback, because now that's going to be their biggest excuse to say, well, Justin can't throw the ball. He ain't throw the ball for 3,000 yards and this and that. Well, you wouldn't have to throw the ball because they got Breece Hall and Ashton Genty. So I think that will be for the Justin Fields take of it. I wouldn't like it for him because I feel like that'll make people excuses as to say why he's not a good quarterback. But for overall value of a team that I believe want to be slow grinding, they're not going out there, breaking world records, throwing the ball at 5,000 yards, putting up 40 points. If you want to play the style of ball I believe the Jets want to play, you can't miss with this move, right? Play defense, run the ball. Passing here and there is not going to help Garrett Wilson and maybe whoever else they draft that receiver. But hey, man, if you're going to try to run a division and try to take over from, being at last all the time in this division, having 2 guys like this in your backfield, man, makes a statement. And we got the head coach and the OC both coming from Detroit. We see what they got over there with Monty and Gibbs. So I ain't gonna lie, man. As fantasy guys, we ain't gonna like it in the beginning because it's gonna be like, damn, man, I don't know what to do now. But from a fan perspective, yeah, man, you can cop both jerseys and be pretty fine with it. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't mind that at all. I would just want to know if Breece rocking 20, can we get a 21 or something like that from Ashton Genty? We need like a, you know what I'm saying? We need that rain and thunder. We got to come up with a nickname for him, man. We don't got Sonic and Knuckles, so come up with a nickname. For them 2 boys. But yeah, I wouldn't mind it at all. And I see Pop said the Colts had Folk and Edgerrin James. I mean, it's countless backfields, man. I mean, I felt like that's what Dallas thought they had with Zeke and Pollard. You know what I'm saying? When Zeke first, well, we knew what Zeke was, but Pollard had that big season. I thought they could mix both in. And for one season they did. But yeah, having 2 guys like this on a rookie contract, I don't think this phase well for Breece's next year when it's that contract talk. It's like, hey, we ain't gonna pay both of y'all to stay, but for right now, I don't mind it, and I like that comparison with Ohio State, though, bro, because those are 2 guys that's coming into the league, and they helped each other out. So, yeah, that was breaking news on Breece. I don't know if y'all caught it or if you missed. I know Rock said he didn't even see it. I was like, damn, bro, how you missed that one? So, shout out.
I get a sleeper notification. That's what it was. I had those turned off.
Okay. Yeah. What up, E? How you feeling, brother? So yeah, moving on, man. I guess what we got up next, Rob? Colorado Pro Day, man, was one of the most talked about.
Yeah.
One of the most talked about over the weekend. A lot of questions about Shedeur. Is he the number 1 quarterback? A lot of people say that's scratched off, right? So is he the number 2 pick now? A lot of people saying that's scratched off. Even the Tennessee Titans told them they don't need a pro day or one-on-one meeting with him anymore. Maybe they're saying, we know what you can do and we're going to evaluate it, or we have our guy already in Cam Ward, so we don't need to waste the time of having Shedeur come through. But it was a lot of questions, a lot of debate with him, and we all know what Travis Hunter is, man. And I brought it up earlier. They said Travis Hunter is a cornerback, right? A lot of people favors him as a cornerback. But a lot of waves going on in the media, Rock, is Travis he's never come out and said I'm a cornerback. He never said I'm a receiver. He just said I want to play both. He never solidified what he is. And on his pro day, the day that he actually stepped on the field and showed what he can do, he didn't backpedal one time. He lined up as a receiver and a receiver only. So are we saying, Travis, we want you to play receiver, but the GMs want you to play corner? Like, what are we hearing on draft night? I'm gonna ask you this before we get to the videos and the clips.
Yeah.
Do you think that they announce a position for him on draft night, or do they say Travis Hunter, the dog? You know what I'm saying? Like, what
that would be awesome.
His name, like, because if you put down cornerback, a lot of us gonna go scrambling, looking at our phone. Oh man, he a corner. But then come training camp, you get that receiver / cornerback. Like, so what do we get, and what do you think his best position should be if you really looked at that this far? What's his most dominant position right now coming into the league? And what is he gonna be drafted as, you thinking?
So my friends, they know me for a phrase where it's just like people are trying to decide, should we get pizza or should we get chicken tenders? And I'm always like, both. And that's going to be the same thing for Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is the best cornerback in this class. He is also the best wide receiver in this class. With cornerback being a more sought after position, there's less elite cornerbacks in the league. And I think that's the reason why at the very beginning of this, this draft process and this offseason, all the narrative was for Travis Hunter to play cornerback. And since we've never had what everyone is saying now, a Shohei Ohtani, until Shohei Ohtani came on the scene where he could play two different positions at the best level in the entire league, we've never had a player like Travis Hunter. People don't know what to do with a player like Travis Hunter, who would be the best corner and also be the best wide receiver. We know that from Travis Hunter in his days at Colorado, that he spent most of his time in the rooms when it comes to watching film with the cornerbacks, with the defense. The fact that he spent so little time in the wide receiver rooms and could play at that elite level is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I don't know what they're going to announce him as. I think it would be cool. They say with recruiting, they just put athlete or something like that. They might just say Travis Hunter, Colorado. I don't know what they're necessarily going to announce, but it would be cool if they say wide receiver, cornerback. Yeah. So I think he deserves, and he should be recognized at the best at that position. And I've been saying this all offseason. When you go and look at our draft guide, I put very heavily and I lean into it where it's just like, if Travis Hunter is the best playmaker on your team, you best be sure that they're going to throw him in on a critical down for a pass catching play. They're not going to just sit him when they have someone that can help them win a game. So as long as he can handle it, I think they're going to throw everything they can at him in order to win games. So, and then when it comes to the Browns, I know a lot of people were saying that Haslam being there, no one has ever really seen an owner at a pro day, Fizz. But the question is, was he there for a generational prospect in Travis Hunter to get him at number 2? Or was he there for Shedeur Sanders? Because they need a quarterback.
They do.
So it really doesn't clear up anything. I have no way of leaning one way or the other who they're going to go with.
I'm with you. Well, it's funny that, I like that you said both, right? You like having the option of let's just use him at whatever he's good at, not just one thing, right? But your guy, one of your favorite guys, Steve Smith, he had a comment about Travis Hunter at the pro day, and I clipped it, man. Let's check this out, see what Steve got going on.
Good feet, deep over. He's good. One thing I would say is when he was sitting down, he put his hands backwards, which would indicate to the defender that he was going to break down. So I need him to keep both his hands moving. But he'll learn that as he hones in on his craft more and more in the league, he'll be fine. That's why he most likely will have to play one position primarily so he can master his craft. Because you never want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. They don't pay masters of none. They pay craftsmen.
What you think about that, Rock? My boy Steve said he shouldn't play 2. He should master 1 instead of pretty much having a bag of tricks in his pocket. They don't pay guys that just try to be a jack of all trades. They pay a guy that's a master at his craft. What do you think about your boy Steve Smith comments on that one, Rob?
Steve Smith is my favorite wide receiver. I was so ecstatic when he played for the Ravens, and I absolutely love him. He's between him and Matt Harmon. Those are the two sources that I go to learn about wide receivers. And the cool thing about Steve Smith Sr. is that he gets into the very nitty gritty of the game and stuff like that. Like when he was talking about his hands and being able to project to the defender what he's about to do and stuff like that with his moves and stuff. So I absolutely love the insight that Steve Smith has, and he's entitled to his opinion. I think that what Steve Smith really wants for Travis Hunter is for him to focus on one position and to be the number one paid at that position. But here's the thing. We've also never seen, and if you ask Steve Smith, have you ever seen a player like Travis Hunter who was the number one at two different positions? Steve Smith is not going to necessarily tell him, I'm going to be surprised if he does when he breaks them down, say he should play wide receiver or he should play corner. But Steve Smith, he wants the very best for Travis Hunter. And I think in order to do that, you should hone in on one position. That's not what Travis Hunter is going to do.
Yeah.
So, I think he should just be able to put him in the best position and give him whatever he needs in order to play at the best in the league and stuff like that. But yeah, the league is tough. It's the best of the best. So he wants Travis Hunter to be the best. So I think that's just his recommendation, but we've never seen anything like it with Travis Hunter.
You're 100% right, bro. So I'm with you on that one, man. And Pop said the league is going to judge him on which position is the cheapest. I believe Hunter should want to play the position that pays the most, which we know is receiver.
Wide receiver. Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm Travis, label me a receiver. Even if you don't put me down as playing as much, I want to be positioned as a receiver / cornerback. But the receiver should be first on my name if it come down to me. And Six Rings had told Adam, he said, put your earmuffs on, bro. He said, if Travis go to the Browns, that's the worst case scenario. When's the last time they hit a top 5 pick at any skill position? His career will be over soon as his name is called, bro. So if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you don't want to read my boy Six Rings. He sounds a little salty. If you ask me, he really want Travis and the Patriots anyway. But I kind of agree a little bit with you, Dynasty. But I will say Travis different, bro. This dude just different, man.
Six Rings. Have you ever heard of a player named Myles Garrett? Have you ever heard of a player named Joe Thomas? I mean, I'm pretty sure that they were top 5 players.
Hold up, Ring.
Hall of Fame players.
Brother. Hold up now.
So,
the receipts.
No, it's easy for me growing up in Cleveland and being a Ravens fan to constantly shit. If they took Shedeur Sanders, I'd be right there with you. But, when it comes to Travis Hunter in skill positions, they do a little bit better than just all completely trash like they do at the quarterback position.
Nah, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, man. So for the most part, though, bro, we had a couple of things going on in the sports world, man. Wasn't enough for us to spend too much time on. Today, though, we are going to get into which our biggest topic was the running back, the generational running backs, or just running backs in general, right? The scouting. I know last week you kind of broke down scouting and the process of it, the life of a scout, right? I meant to ask you this before we started, but I know this is like the second part of it. We're going to the running backs after the quarterbacks, but if you got any notes of kind of rewinding, you ain't got to run through the whole scouting position, Rock, but your notes that you started off with last week, I think a refresher of a quick give the people exactly what they about to get into, and then we get into the generational running backs, as we like to call them. So we're going to take us a quick little break, man. Like, subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that button, man. If you don't watch it, make sure your friend watch it. Send it to them. Make sure they join us and learn about these running backs, because on draft night, we don't want to hear in the comments, man, I don't know about this dude. We already told you about him. So make sure you hit these likes and comments and subscribe for us one time. We'll be right back.
Welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate.
I wanted to bring this back up because I wanted y'all to see exactly what we on today. Generational running back or just running back. But we really want to break on those guys that are different, those guys that get selected, go through a process, and we want them to be generational. I got the lawnmower people cutting grass. I don't know if y'all hear, but We want them to be generational. We think they're generational, but when they come into this league, anything goes, right? But the whole scouting process of following their careers, figuring out who they are. I had a couple of mocks. I was going to bring up the other screen, Rob, but I found some screenshots. Shout out to Sleeper, man. Mel Kiper dropped his 2-round mock today, and it's not deep into the draft, but it's enough of the top RBs in this class that we at least know. So, in the midst of scouting and us trying to look up, man, see what's good. We know Bill always coming through, checking us out, man. Let's check out round 1 with Mel, man. So right now, round 1, let's go through a little bit. Cam Ward, pick 1. Travis Hunter, pick 2. Sorry, Dynasty. Your boy Travis is gone, brother. Abdul Carter to the Giants. Will Campbell. Y'all got some O-line help for your quarterback, though. My dog trying to get out that window. Chill out, boy. Mason Graham, Ashton Genty to the Raiders. So it looked like the Jets, smoke screen didn't work. They went O-line. The Panthers went linebacker. Shador went to the Saints. I saw Dion. They asked him how you feel about the Saints. He said, I like their colors. So I don't know how much that means to him, but he said, at least I like the colors. The Titans. The Titans. The Bears took Tyler Warren at tight end, which that was a big move, man. It will hurt my Komet shares. I say that, man. I've been screaming, hollering about Komet is my dog. San Fran with Will Johnson. Dallas, they got Omari and Hampton. That's the second RB on the list. So we got Ashton Genty, Omari and Hampton. Scroll down. Colston Loveland went to the Colts. We got some defensive picks. Matthew Golden to the Cardinals, Rock. Matt Golden, man, over there with Marvin Harrison, man.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy. Bro. Skip through a couple of picks. We got Tet. Tet went to the Broncos to help out my boy Bo Nix. Go through a couple of more, and I'm seeing we got 2. So basically 2 RBs in the first round. I'm gonna see we got Jackson Dart to the Rams. Oh, hold up there, Rock. Jackson Dart to the Rams. How you feeling about that? That's your boy. You want him to sit for a year?
That would be best case scenario. That would be absolutely the best case scenario.
You want him to sit for a year anyway. So
yeah, I do.
I like that one. Then we'll go on to round 2. But so far, we got Ashton Genty to the Raiders, Cowboys, Omari and Hampton. Go to round 2, and we kicking off. We got another quarterback.
No way he's going that high. No way.
Hey, Rock, I will say this, man. After the combine, people was talking about this guy. Like, they love his mental. The man is older than everybody in the whole draft, from what I heard, bro. So
he's a good talker. That's for sure. He's a good talker. He got some wisdom. He's very articulate.
He got some wisdom, man. When you're older than everybody, you should be smarter. So no knock on him, but that's a Browns pick right there if I ever seen one. Jalen Milroe to the Giants, man, from sit behind Russ and J-Mo. I don't mind that either, man.
I'm growing more on Jalen Milroe. I'm liking him more and more as this process goes on.
To sit behind Russell Wilson, hey, you can't go wrong doing that. So I wouldn't mind that. And Buka,
don't forget
the Jaguars over there with BTJ, man. That's another big move.
Duval.
But this one right here, Rock. I know we ain't talking about receivers, but Luther Burden to the Patriots. Imagine Stephon Diggs having a younger version of himself sitting on the other side. This is like Puka Nacua and JSN all over again, if you think about it, right? Both Puka Nacua, I said not Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp and JSN all over again, right? You got Cooper Kupp, older guy, leg injury coming off, but he's a slack guy. Diggs, I'm not comparing Diggs to Cooper Kupp like 100%, but they're good enough and close enough at what they do with their craft to be compared in some sense, right? Then you put Luther Burden. I'm not gonna say he's JSN, but if you down tier it, he can be what JSN is in his own way as far as the route running and being that slot guy. So I like this Luther Burden pick. I love Luther Burden. People hating on him, keep on hating. I'll take the man over. Ain't no problem on my team. Travion Henderson, though, he's the next RB, Rock. He went to Chicago, so Matty can throw those DeAndre Swift shares out of the window, bro, for the time being. Who else we got? Oh, Arroyo went to the Jets, man. We know a lot of people waiting on him. See what he got going on. We're gonna scroll through Quinshawn Junkins to the Broncos. So the Broncos got Tet and Quinshawn.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hey, man, the Broncos said we going back to the playoffs and we gonna win the game this time, bro. So Jaden Higgins, who been moving up draft boards. I'm hearing he's a round 1 receiver now. He went to the Seattle Seahawks to go over there with Cooper Kupp and JSN, like I just said. Jack Bech went to the Green Bay Packers. We got Mason Taylor went to the Chargers. Isaiah Bond, fast fastest receiver, I believe, in the draft this year. He went to the Panthers. So Jalen knows. So we got a whole offensive run right here, man. Besh, Taylor, Bond, No. Yeah, man, I like this run right here, Rock. Jaden Higgins. Then we scroll down, Rock, and look at this pick right here. Pick 63. Caleb Johnson to the Kansas City Chiefs, man.
Oh my God. That's like another just better version of Pacheco, right?
Caleb Johnson to the Chiefs, bro. So right now, I know we talking running backs. That was the move. We got Ashton Genty to the Raiders. We got Omari and Hampton to the Cowboys. We got who's the next one, Rock?
Quinshon?
It was Quinshon Junkins, I believe, to
Broncos.
No. Travion Henderson to the Bears.
Oh, yeah, in round 1. Yeah.
Then we got Quinshon to the Broncos, and we got Caleb Johnson to the Kansas City Chiefs. So looking at that mock, Mel Kiper's mock, man, came out today, this morning, actually. Shout out to Mel, man, for the work he got going on over there. I heard this is his last mock, too, so he done doing work for right now. What's your biggest surprise, Rob? What's your biggest surprise before we dig into the scouting process of these things? Out of those, let's just say overall pick, let's just give us your big surprise, but the running back more specifically.
The running backs, I can all project all of those. I think that those all make a ton of sense. And, this is a really, really good class. So we should see at least 5 to 6 running backs taken by the end of round 2. So none of that was super surprising to me. I think it makes a lot of sense for Amari and Hampton to go to Dallas. They definitely need a running back. And yeah, I expect that Ashton Genty is going to easily be a top 10 pick. So nothing really surprised me whatsoever there. The only thing surprising outside of Tyler Shuck was I'm really high on these tight ends. I have not seen it that much in these mocks, but to see Elijah Arroyo, see Mason Taylor go in the second round.
4 tight ends in this draft.
Yeah, so like seeing second those round makes me really, really happy because I'm really high on these tight ends as well. I think there's a good cluster of tight ends. When you get to the Fannin, Aronde Gadsden, when you get to Gunnar Helm, Mason Taylor, Elijah Arroyo, I have all those guys in the same bucket when it comes to the tight end position after Warren, after Loveland. Okay. So I think those are great to see. But yeah, the craziest thing I think is going to be, where do these quarterbacks go? After you get from Shador and Dart, and then you get to that next tier, some people like Will Howard. I like Will Howard. I'm actually souring on him a little bit more. Unfortunately, I'm actually starting to like more Jalen Milroe just for that upside when he comes to his rushing and his athleticism. But yeah, I really like this this mock, and I think we were really putting these wide receivers a lot higher up, not only in our mock drafts for when it comes to fantasy football, but when it comes to the NFL actual draft.
Yeah.
We're going to see maybe outside of Travis Hunter, maybe only Tedero McMillan, which I didn't see where he went in that mock.
To the Broncos.
To the Broncos?
Yeah. First round to the Broncos.
To get him and then get on in the second round would be
crazy, bro.
That would be absolutely nasty for Bo Nix. So
and think about, they're not even overpaying Courtland Sutton. So they got Courtland Sutton for a cheap deal, Bo Nix, and their 2 top rookie contributors coming in on rookie contracts. So the Broncos, I mean, they can go buy a whole defense and some offensive linemen, or maybe, put some other little pieces around them, man. Broncos could be in the AFC West running things or putting up a fight 4 years in a row, bro.
Yeah. I just want to shout out
Jay Jag, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, big dog.
But I think that this is a good one. But yeah, I think we should expect the more that people get in the film of people like Luther Burden, Emeka Ibuka, they might not be in the first round. They might actually fall a little bit. So maybe we should pivot. And that's why I'm glad that we're getting into this RB position today, because maybe we should be drafting some of these guys that are going towards the end of the draft. Maybe we should put them a little bit ahead of these players.
From this mock, it looked like it, bro. From this mock, it looks like the running backs are a little bit more important than what we really thought. Shout out Terminal, man. We appreciate you. My biggest thing on that mock was the receivers. That the talent, like you said, it went later, but it was almost to the point where it's like, all right, hold on, why are these players still here? We had a long run with Isaiah Bond and Higgins and Mason Taylor. It was like 6 offensive guys went in like 7 picks on that end of the second round. I like that run because that's basically the team saying, "Oh, I didn't expect him to fall to me, so I got to smash this up and get my guy right now." So I like that little run. I know it's just a mock, but I'm usually a hater on Mel Kiper's mocks, man. I think Mel like clickbait mocks sometimes, but this one I actually like though. I can stand behind this one right here and say it was a solid mock.
And we didn't talk about it earlier. We didn't talk about Shador Sanders with his pro day.
We did,
but we can talk about him now with him going to New Orleans and this. What were your thoughts? Did you come away with anything different with Shador at that pro day? That pro day was insane. They didn't even call it the pro day. They called it the showcase.
It was.
I thought it was pretty dope.
Well, I'm so sorry that I skipped my boy Shador because we got so in depth with Travis Hunter. But I got us a clip, man. His best throw at the pro day. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it, but let's see what's good with it. You got Shador stepping back, man. Just letting the cannon go. We know he got that accuracy though, Rock. Actually, it's a little bit of celebration at the end, man. Let everybody know I'm in the building. It's the showcase. This ain't no pro day. It's a show day. So that was his best throw of the day. But to me, though, Rock, pro days to me are just a good day for the guys that just hang out and just do things on their own terms versus the combine. Yeah. I really don't take much from pro days, bro. I like to see what they doing in between those lines, 11 on 11, man. All that other stuff is cool, but that 11 on 11 is where I really take heed to what they've been doing. Because when you throwing in shorts, and I think Travis Hunter was out there in some Air Force Ones. He wasn't even out there with cleats on, bro. He was running with some black Air Force Ones. So it's like, I'm not saying he didn't take it serious, but he basically just came out here like, look, I'm so good, I don't even have to wear cleats. So
those are actually custom cleats. He actually had studs in the bottom of them. They were really nice. Yeah, but they looked like just freaking sneakers.
I mean, I'm just saying, like on those days though, I take more into the player feeling more comfortable and showing what he has on his own terms. And I don't know if you heard Prime. Prime had got into it with one of the scouts. The scouts was trying to tell the guys how to run their 40. And Prime said, listen, he said it's out loud. So he said, listen, this dude just got here. Y'all don't even know him. Y'all do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Like pretty much, don't listen to this dude. We don't know him. Like, who is he? Like, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Prime, man, for always being Prime. But he pretty much let you know this is your day. Don't listen to this man who claim he's some 40-time pro that nobody knows. You do what you do. I wish I would have clipped that too, but that was a funny little moment. But yeah, man, shout out to Prime for letting his guys be themselves. And another guy we don't talk about, Rock, I'm not sure where his draft stock is, but Horn, man, that boy Horn, man, he ran a 440 over there at the pro day. He was a solid receiver for them, man. I think at some point he's going to be a good asset for a team. I know he don't get looked at and talked about enough, but I like Horn, man. Horn was pretty solid for them. But to get back into Shador, I don't mean to keep skipping my board, man. Him going to, it was the Giants, right? If I ain't mistaken.
Saints.
No. It was the Saints. I'm sorry. I'll say this. It's going to be a horrible showing for the overall team because it is not a good team. But him being under a guy like Kellen Moore, as much as I hate and dog and talk about Kellen Moore not being that good of a coach, I think he wasn't a good coach for the Cowboys because our skill set allowed him to put Dak in bad positions, right? We had a team that we could slow games down and win with. So why run the score up and throw so much? I think a team like the Saints is the other way, though. With the Saints, he's going to have to score more points. So if he had Dak with the Saints and doing what he was doing in Dallas, I would love Kellen Moore. But the fact that he was doing it in Dallas when I thought we didn't need to go for 40 when, we don't need.
He's trying to get him paid, man. He was trying to get him paid.
He did, and he got himself out of there too. So I'll just say Shador with the Saints, it wouldn't equal to success like team-wise. But I believe a guy like Kellen Moore, Alvin Kamara, Brandon Cooks, Chris Olave, Jawan Johnson, they got a solid enough core to say he doesn't have any excuses that he don't have no options to throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? And we know his accuracy is there. His problem is just holding the ball too long and taking sacks. So you do that by having the Kellen Moore get the ball out quick. We're going to just throw this ball, or if it all push come to shove, throw to Alvin Kamara. He's sitting right over here. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't mind him to the Saints, and I think that'll actually boost him up in a lot of people's rankings when we talk fantasy and dynasty and all that stuff.
Yeah, when it comes to Shador Sanders, so I watched his pro day, and then I saw all the comments that were in Twitter and stuff like that, and I could just feel between him sliding in the draft process and then just seeing the sentiment on there, I've already made my thoughts clear about what I think his limitations are as a quarterback. But at the end of the day, and this is what I was really thinking about, your worries can only take you so far. There's nothing worse than when you hear from somebody, man, I'm really worried about you, Tarek, and stuff like that. That doesn't really do anyone any good.
Yeah.
I really like Bill Belichick. He's very famous for this saying, tell me what a guy can do. Don't tell me what he can't do. The biggest thing I saw from Shedeur on that showcase, it wasn't his throws. It was the support that he had from his father, the respect that he had from his teammates, and the whole NFL was represented there, that interest there. So his overall demeanor to handle all of that pressure, that's the thing that's not getting talked about. So I think
it gets talked about here, Rock. You know, I've been talking about that for months. Leadership, bro.
That should be the first thing. That should be the first thing that we talk about with this guy. Yeah, he is. So I thought of this analogy. It's kind of similar to if you know a couple is going to get married and there may be worries about one or maybe both of the individuals. Maybe they're not ready for marriage, but neither of them are ready, but it's going to happen anyway. Maybe you have worries about Shedeur. Maybe you have worries about his landing spot, like if he does go to the Browns. But we know that Shedeur is going to get drafted. And we know that he's going to have coaches and teammates that are going to rally behind him and put him in the best position to succeed. So right now, I don't want to talk about my worries with Shedeur or any of these other prospects. Now I just want to think about all the different ways that these players can perform at the highest level and in ways that maybe we didn't expect.
Yeah.
So
there we go.
That's what I'm most excited about. At a certain point, let's not worry about it anymore. You know?
Because all worries are circumstantial, Rock. The same way we worry about a guy when he gets drafted to the right situation, ain't no more worries because he's surrounded by nothing but talent and great minds that put him in the right position. So when you worried about the wrong stuff, you're going to get wrong results. So I'm cool with Shedeur. I always spoke on it, but his biggest attribute to me is leadership, bro. I've been saying that since day one. Being a leader, walking into a locker room, he is going to lift those guys in that Cleveland Browns locker room if he's there. Man, look, we not coming in here losing on my watch. Myles Garrett, I need you to step up with me, bro. You take care of your side, I take care of my side. But we are not going to be picked 101 next year. That's how I'm coming in. And I believe he got that from his father. People, one thing we know about this world, though, Rob.
The goblins got it. Okay, your internet cut out for a little bit.
It did?
You're good now, though. You were on a roll. See, the internet couldn't handle your.
It couldn't, bro. They hated on
going,
you know what I'm saying? It's prime time, baby. When I start talking about prime, they hate it, man. So people hate. People hate the confidence. They hate. I'm back out again.
Keep going. Just keep going. We'll go with it.
All right, cool. People hate, man. It done threw me off now, but I don't know what just happened, bro. But long story short, when you are confident in yourself, people don't like to see that because they want your fears to be their fears. They won't tell you that you can't do something because they can't do it, right? And I think Shedeur going into the building, letting the people know who he is and how to dominate in that locker room is going to carry on to the field. So shout out Shedeur. I don't care what team he go to. I don't want to see him in Cleveland, honestly, but I believe whatever team he goes to, he's going to go in there and lead those guys to something successful at some point. So, but let's get back to the main topic, man. We get into those running backs, get into the scouting. Since my internet don't want me on here, y'all don't want me to see me no more. I'm going to let my boy Rock cook up his scouting report anyway. So, as we always call it, making the right pick. We all know Sean McVay did his thing with Puka. That's my dog. That's my other dog right there. And making the right pick, man. Generational running backs, the talent. It's time to put some respect on the running back position, Rock. When we look at the generational guys, right? Jahmyr Gibbs, Amarian Hampton is one of the best in this class right now. He's moving up every single day. I'm hearing he could be RB1 at some point. And then James Cook, I had to throw him in there because a lot of people didn't believe James Cook was even that good of a running back coming into the league. And right now, he's running. He's demanding $15 million, right? He's telling the Buffalo Bills, hey, man, pay me or else. And I heard they don't want to pay him, but I'm just
tied with King Henry and rushing touchdowns.
I'm just saying. So a lot of people, though, coming into college, he fell to the second round, I believe, like late second. but James Cook is still a dog regardless. And I just bring all that up to say it's time to put some respect on the running back position, bro. You got King Henry, Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, even guys like David Montgomery, who isn't officially a starter. He kind of split in the back. But if David went to another team, he could still be a 1,000-yard guy right now to this day, as long as he's not hurt. So the list goes on with all the running backs. But this class specifically, though, Rock, we got some dogs. We got some guys that are going to change lives and change locker rooms, man. So what's your process on the running back position, and what's your thoughts on the guys we got coming in, and how far are you looking into? Because I know last week you went from 2023 to 25. So where we at now? The floor is yours, brother. Do your thing.
So, go back to last week. I talk all about what it's like to be a day in the life of a scout, how they are looking at these prospects over many, many years from the time that they're in high school all the way throughout their college career, how hard it is to be able to get into the NFL. Only 1.6% of prospects actually get drafted into the NFL. And it's all about seeing what's beneath the surface, and also too, how that player fits into that scheme, how he fits into that locker room, how he gels with the rest of his teammates and learns from his coaches. And then we also talked about what they look for in interviews: growth mindset, pride, attention to detail, durability, leadership qualities. So that was last week. This week, I want to start off this discussion when it comes to running backs. Fizz, what are the major things when you're watching a running back? Mm-hmm. What are the things that you look for in the most ideal running back? Because this is going to inform what we focus on.
Well, my favorite thing to watch are guys like Ezekiel Elliott, Le'Veon Bell, the patience. Now you can only have patience when you got a good offensive line. So that's still like 1-1, hand in hand. But the patience, bro. When I watch a guy like Le'Veon Bell and he was in that backfield, he would literally just sit there for just a tick and just watch and see where everybody goes, and he jumped the gap. You know what I'm saying? That's my favorite. I think Alvin Kamara does that a little bit too. I don't know for sure how many guys in this class I can say do it, but I'm saying the patience of it. I think Ashton Genty stands up behind the backfield like straight up. Like he doesn't bend down or bend his knees.
Very similar to Gibbs in that regard, yeah.
Yeah, I think patience to me is my biggest attribute, but I think that goes hand in hand with the offensive line and trusting you have time for patience. So right behind patience, though, I will say just aggressiveness, man. I like seeing that dog. I like those guys that, may not be the quickest, may not be the fastest, but they running 100 steps and only going 10 yards. You know what I'm saying? Those big stepper running backs, man. I love seeing those guys. King Henry is a prime example, bro. He doesn't run. He strides. Like, for him to be as big as he is, he's faster than 90% of the people in the field, but you would never know.
Crazy.
Because he doesn't look quick. He's just striding and gliding down the field. So just that angry run and being aggressive is what I like the most behind being patient.
Yeah. So there are 5 things that I really look for. Vision, I think, is super important. You can't draft a running back that can't navigate the line and just runs into full speed in the back of his.
I was about to say, well, maybe I should have said, well, vision and patience is like the same thing, but wording visually, yes, vision is the 100%. Yep.
I think vision is really important. Contact balance. How does that running back, when he gets hit, is he able to shed that tackle and able to keep his momentum going forward or bounce off of them? Making defenders miss becomes more and more important to me as I look at these prospects. There are so many prospects, if they have one guy in front of them, if they can't shake that one guy either through, a juke or a stiff arm or something like that.
Fall right over.
It's just like, come on, man.
It's like Tyler Lockett, bro. When he catch the ball, he just fall down, bro. He not taking
exactly.
That's how. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
So making defenders miss, burst. I wanted to put speed, but burst is really, I think, super key. To be able to hit that gear and maybe hit a second or a third gear at different levels of the defense. I think burst is really, really important, even more so than just straight line speed.
It's not like you describing Saquon Barkley with all these attributes, but go ahead, bro, because he
is
last year when you looked at those
back.
Runs. Once he got past like 10 yards, it was gone. He was that second burst, that gear, pew.
So, and then the last thing that I have just for an all-around, well-rounded running back is receiving. That is a big part of my process, especially when it comes to fantasy football. If you have that dual threat versatility and can receive and be as much of a threat there as you can with the ball in your hand rushing, man, nothing could stop you. So that's why I like players like CMC and Kamara, who are just one of the best when it comes to having that dual threat versatility. So for this exercise, I did go back all the way through 2021.
Okay.
And I have anywhere from 4 to 6 running backs from each class. But then for this class, I wanted to have 12 because I wanted to see, how this one stacks up with the best of the best from each class. So I started off my my process with the main person that I look at when it comes to information who I really respect is Lance Zierlein. Lance Zierlein is very, very good when it comes to scouting the running back position. You can find his grades on NFL.com if you go to the Combine website. So if you see, some of these grades that usually start in a 6, that's usually a Lance Zierlein grade. So starting with that, who do you think is the best running back prospect that he has ranked since 2021?
You said the best running back prospect since 2021. Sheesh.
And it's not even close. It's not even close, actually. It's a huge tier difference.
Bijan Robinson? Not Bijan. We know Bijan, man. For 3 years, we knew he was going to be the man.
Bijan's number 2.
Okay, all right. At least I feel good about that, knowing that.
Yeah. I love doing this with you.
Go ahead, Rock, man. Oh, dang.
It's Ashton Genty.
Damn,
so,
bro. Hold on. It's Ashton Genty, bro?
Yes. Ashton Genty. And you're going to see why.
He didn't even cross my mind. How did I forget about Ashton Genty? I'm tripping.
See,
damn.
Yeah, he's rated a 7.15. There is the tier gap between him and Bijan is massive. Bijan is at a 6.84.
Okay.
You may not think that that's a big of a difference. It is. It's a huge difference. And then number 3 is Travis Etienne. Then you got Najee. Javonte Williams rounds out the top 5 at 6.4. But then you get Travion Henderson, who's at 6.38. So you have 2 prospects in this class that are in the top 6, according to the ones that Lance Zierlein has ever looked at. So pretty crazy.
I don't know how I missed that Genty one, man. Dang. I feel bad, man.
People are they're gonna have a whole other view of Genty after we get through this exercise. So another thing I look at that's very predictive of how a player is going to do in the pros is how many points per game fantasy-wise they scored in college. Who has scored the most fantasy points in college of this whole sample?
And we talking over since 21, right?
Yep.
Man, you got guys scoring. I'm gonna go Genty, bro.
Genty, you're right. He has scored
last year, bro. He was scoring like 6 touchdowns a game. I gotta go Genty on that one.
Yeah, he averaged 32.4. Guess who's number 2? And number 3 and number 4. This is actually super surprising.
We talking about over the last couple of years. So many running backs, Rob. Are these like first round guys that we talking? Or like I'm talking about like hot? Okay, all right.
No.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna pull out a running back list. Go ahead with this one. I'm gonna just stack some running backs up.
Cameron Scatterbill is number 2 in this whole sample.
I would have definitely wouldn't announced that, bro. You got
He's averaged 29.4, and you have to remember, Cameron Scatterbill is the first player since Christian McCaffrey who had over 1,500 yards rushing and 500 yards receiving. So
that's your boy,
absolutely
right?
Nuts. Yeah, that's my dude. But here's the craziest thing. RJ Harvey and Caleb Johnson are number 3 and number 4. So the top 4 when it comes to points per game are all in this class.
This class, yeah.
Bijan is number 5. And then you have Zach Charbonnet after those guys. So I think between RJ Harvey, Cameron Scatterbill, Caleb Johnson, they were their whole offenses. Like Cameron Scatterbill put Arizona State, they don't get to the playoffs or have any level of success without him. Yeah. He was their whole team. Same thing with RJ Harvey. Same thing with Caleb Johnson. So Bijan Robinson, he was still on a talented Texas team. He was extremely efficient, scored a shitload of points, but he wasn't the entire, literally like 90% of the team like those other guys.
Well, when you playing in Texas, though, it's kind of hard too. You know what I'm saying? Like, not too hard for Caleb Johnson to be the offense in Iowa, man. Iowa ain't had much going on, much else going on. So I understand. I get it.
So another thing I look at that I think is super important is their involvement in the receiving game. So I track routes per game. Mm-hmm. Who do you think are some of the players that were on passing routes more so than other players? And I phrased that really weird. Who ran the most routes?
Junkins. I'm gonna say Junkins. Is Junkins one?
No, he's not even close, man. Come on,
not close.
Junkins is literally at the bottom. He's at 8.9. He's literally last place.
All right. Hold on, man. Hold on. Well, I mean, I know Gibbs was a good receiving guy. Dang, Rock, you got me over here twisted now, man. Hold on, bro.
See, this is why I love this exercise. Everyone assumes that they know.
You calling me out on my bullshit, man. Hold up, Rock. Hold up.
Gibbs is number 8. He averaged 20.3. There are players that averaged almost 10 more routes per game. So just to keep things going, Devon A-Chain.
That was my next one. I'm literally looking at his name right now. Because a lot of times, bro, coming on the top of your head, you got to think like, so
it's hard. It's really, really hard.
I'm looking at my list. Devon A-Chain is right here on my list of I looked up Dynasty running backs. Devon A-Chain was my next answer. But go ahead.
So he's number 1, 29.9. He averaged. Taj Brooks, who no one is talking about whatsoever in this rookie process, he's number 2. He averaged 26.9 routes per game. Then you have Zach Charbonnet, Bucky Irvin, then Amarian Hampton, Ollie Gordon, Cameron Scadaboo. Ollie Gordon, I thought, was one of the most surprising. No one really thinks of him as a receiving running back.
That's because last year he had such a bad year. You just forgot about his whole season. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, he was running a lot of routes. That doesn't necessarily mean he was catching a lot of passes. So those were a lot of empty calories.
That's true. But yeah, A-Chan definitely should have been number 1. That was my next.
Okay. So another thing that I look at when it comes to just raw production is adjusted yards per team attempt. So Ashton Genty, he is number 1 at 2.82. Rashad White is at 2.8. Bijan Robinson at 2.52. Ray Davis was at number 5 with 2.49. And then you got Amarian Hampton, Cameron Scadaboo, RJ Harvey again. Here's one that people really, really like. Elusiveness rating. This is via PFF.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you have to rate as far as the most elusive running back since 2021?
Come on, Rock. Why you do this to me, man? Why you got me doing this?
This one is like absolutely insane how elusive this running back is.
I'm Ashton Genty, man. I got to go with Genty. Because
right.
I thought, bro, I'm looking at it. Every time you say something now, I'm making sure I don't skip.
It's like Jaden Daniels from last week and Bo Nix, yeah.
I'm making sure I don't skip him in my head. But once I start thinking about his highlights, bro, the man was never touched. Like, he was just gone 80 yards, 70 yards. So I'm making sure I go through this class first in my head before I get to the other guys. Because, I'm overthinking the older running backs, but Ashton Genty was just crazy, bro.
And I think elusiveness, they also do factor in just shedding tackles and stuff like that. So just like being able to not get brought down, whether it's through an open field tackle or they have your hands on you. Ashton Genty is at 215.1. You might not really know what that means, but then once you go to number 2, Bijan Robinson, 169.1. You can see there's a whole other tier.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference. Number 3 is Tyrone Tracy. Number 4 is Bucky Irving. Number 5 is actually Tajay Spears. And then you get Tootin, Scadaboo, Caleb Johnson, Hampton. So, and in the top 10, almost every one of these metrics that I've looked at, the 2025 class is well represented. All right. Now, what about yards after contact? So they get hit and they keep on going. Who do you think is number 1?
It's hard over the years, but I'm gonna say your boy Scadaboo got to be up there, man.
Scadaboo, unfortunately, is not. He's not.
He's a little pinball, man. He's a pinball, man. He always bouncing off. Always time I see him, he bouncing off somebody, man.
Believe it or not, he's actually last in this. He only averaged 2.67. I think it's because he literally got hit so many freaking times.
Yeah, bro. He's a pinball, man. I literally watched this man bounce off a shoulder pads all game. Like, that's crazy.
Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it? Okay. All right. Well. Ashton Genty then.
Ashton Genty averaged 5.25. 5.2. That's insane. Tajay Spears, number 2. Tyrone Tracy, number 3. Then you got Travion. Yeah, Tyrone Tracy is really good.
Yeah.
Like, he is really, really good. I don't know why we slept on him so much. In the draft capital, he won in like the 6th round. Like, he went towards the back end. But the Giants got to steal him. They did. Then Travion Henderson, Caleb Johnson, Bashal Tootin, and then Amari Hampton. And then you get Isaac Garenda and Bijan Robinson. So those are some tough SOBs that we got right there.
Hey, Rock, you know what, though? I'm really trying not to give Ashton Genty his flowers, bro. I really don't want him to lead all these categories. So I'm trying to skip over him and just throw all these names that I know shouldn't be here, but clearly it's not working because Ashton Genty is just clearly
he's the truth,
dude, bro.
He's the one.
It's my fault for sleeping on my boy, man.
Yeah. So you're an old school stat that people don't really use as much anymore, but I still like yards per attempt or yards per carry. Zach Charbonnet averaged 7 yards in his final season with UCLA. Travion Henderson also too. They're the only 2 running backs that averaged 7 yards in their final season. Receiving yard percentage. So how many of the yards did these running backs have for their team? White had 18%. Cameron Scadaboo had 16.9% of the receiving yards. Travis Etienne from Clemson, then Amari and Hampton at 12.8%. And then you get Jahmyr Gibbs. So those are some really, really good receiving backs. But my favorite stat when it comes to receiving is target percentage. Who do you think got the most targets on their team over the last couple of years?
Out of that, I don't know who's number 1, but I want to say ETN got to be up there.
He's number 3. Great job. That's good.
Okay.
He averaged 12.2% of the targets.
I don't know, Rock.
You're never gonna guess number 2. It's crazy.
Is Bucky up there?
Bucky's number 4. Dang, man. You see, you're getting better at 11.7%.
Because I'm listening to the other stats and it's all lining up, but I can't give you 1 and 2, bro. I'm just go them 2. I don't want to hold the show up. What we got?
Cameron Scadaboo, 13.6% is number 1.
Nah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Najee Harris is number 2 at 13.4%. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that either, bro.
Yeah. And then you got Amari and Hampton. So Amari and Hampton, Cam Scadaboo, they are both top 5.
Okay.
Another thing that I track is the age of these players when they come in. Do you know who some of the youngest players that I scouted for this process is? Who do you remember coming into the league pretty young?
Well, I know Breece Hall was young. He was like 20.
Yep. Yeah, he's in the top 5.
Okay. Najee was like 24, so he's not on the list.
Najee's toward the bottom. Yeah, he was 23.
Yeah, Najee. I'm trying to think who the young guys. Dang, Rock. Go ahead, Rock, man, because I got him in my head, but I know Breece. I always say how young Breece is, and he's. Go ahead, Rock.
Braylon Allen was the youngest one that I looked at.
I want to guess that. Yep.
Braylon Allen, Dylan Sampson is the second youngest.
Okay.
And then Javonte Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs. All 5 of those prospects were 20 years old. So.
And Breece, I think Breece was 22, right? Wasn't he 20, or was he?
He was 20. He was 20. Yeah, he was 20 years old when
he was 20. Yeah. Okay, I do remember that.
So one other thing that I look at that I think is really, really important is RAS score. People really love the RAS score, especially in the fantasy community. I think it's one of the best metrics, especially when you look at the tight end position. But this is looking at just overall athleticism of that player. Who do you think the highest RAS score is that we've seen in this sample? This one you're never gonna guess. Never gonna get this one, Rock. Why would you ask me if I'm never gonna get it? So then I'll tell you then. Isaac Garenda had a 9.97 RAS score. Breece Hall is number 2 at 9.95. Quinshon Judkins is a 9.9. So he's number 3. He did have an insane combine. I think they were comparing him to Derrick Henry. So as far
Well,
as
I
his
will say
combine.
this. Shout out to Mike. I want to say I saw Mike put in our Discord that that Garendo Raz score one day. Now that you brought it up, I do believe Mike did that in one of our channels. So shout out to Mike for bringing it up. I don't remember why he did it or when, but I do remember seeing Garendo. It was a perfect score, right? Yeah, I do remember seeing that. Yep. So
Is absolutely insane. One thing I really like that Player Profiler does is dominator rating. So you look at how a player contributes to the scoring and to the touchdowns and just the overall offense. Omarion Hampton, 73.9% dominator rating. The next closest player is Devin Neal at 54.9%. So to go from 54.9% all the way up to Omarion Hampton at number one at 73.9 is absolutely insane. To be like over 20 percentage points over Devin Neal, Ollie Gordon, Caleb Johnson, Taj Brooks. Then you get to Kenneth Walker, my dude. Then you get to Breece Hall. It's absolutely insane how much these players contributed in offense last year.
But it's insane that we talking about one class, bro, for almost 60, 70%, almost 80% of each category is coming from this class.
Yep. It keeps going. PFF rush grade. Ashton Genty is the number one in this sample at 96.6. Cameron Scatterbo is second at 94.6.
That's why you keep talking about him, huh, Rod? He gonna be your sneaky link, man. That's your dude right there, man.
That's my dude. I'm planting my flag with him. We
go.
ride or die together. Him and Tyler Warren are my two dudes. Travion Henderson, number 3. Then you got Ray Davis, Bucky Irvin, Dylan Sampson, Omarion Hampton, Devin Neal. Absolutely insane. Missed tackles forced per game, so how elusive they are and stuff like that, especially when it comes to the open field. Ashton Genty averaged 10.8 per game. 10.8 per game.
That's
exactly.
Crazy, man. That's crazy.
Cameron Scatterbo.
11 tackles a game, bro. Come on, man.
Absolutely insane. Cameron Scatterbo 7.8, Omarion Hampton 6. The carry share. How many carries did they have per game with their other backfield? With the other teammates on their backfield. Ashton Genty had 67.4% of the carries for his team. Taj Brooks had 60.3. Then Ray Davis at 58.7. One other thing I started tracking the last 2 years, so it's not the whole sample, is miles per hour. Ashton Genty 12 times last year was the fastest player in all of college football.
Yeah.
Regardless of position.
Well, I think a lot of that had to do with he wasn't touched, so he had to slow down, like his stride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He got to reach his max. He got to reach his max speed because nobody touched him.
A number with 6 times, Omarion Hampton was the fastest, and then the year before, 6 times Bucky Irving was the fastest. So I thought that when he ran a 4.55, Bucky Irving last year, I thought it was kind of a fugazi because I knew that he was super fast because of this stat and being able to track miles per hour. I started tracking miles per hour because of Puka Nacua, because we know that guy is fast and he had a terrible pro day. And then I had the last thing to round things out is just the combine testing. So we know who the fastest running back is, and he comes from this class. You know who it is that ran at the combine. 100th percentile.
You asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, the fastest.
His name sounds like a locomotive.
I literally, bro. You be throwing this. Damn, Rock. Tootin', man, tootin'.
Exactly. 4.32.
You know what's so crazy, bro? I'm sitting looking through the thing. I was trying to pull up this thing, and you call that out. So I was like, "You asking me, bro? Go ahead."
Yeah, sorry about that.
You got my brain overthinking, man. I need to start taking notes, man, because I'm over here lost in the sauce, man.
I'm not just doing with you. I'm doing with the people.
I'm
so
with
the
you.
people want to.
I was scrolling through. That's why you was working. Go ahead, bro.
All right. So the Devon A. Chain. People forget Isaac Garendo. This is the reason why he had such a high RAS score. Yeah. He had ran a 4.33, man. That's insane. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, RJ Harvey, Travion Henderson. So those are the fastest 40s. When it comes to speed score, Isaac Garendo has the highest. He had 100th percentile, 125.7. Then you get Rootin' Tootin', and then you get Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker, Amari Hampshire, and Jahmyr Gibbs. When it comes to burst, which I talked about as one of the most important things, Isaac Rendo again, 135.1. Tootin at 2. Chase Brown is number 3. Quinshon Judkins, then Brees Hall, Tyrone Tracy, Amari Hampton, and Travion Henderson. The one thing that people are just afraid of running and doing the drills for is the agility drills. I don't know why they're so afraid of doing that. There's like literally 90% of the players skip out on those drills, but the ones who did do it, you have Tyrone Tracy as the best at 10.87. He's 96th percentile. Taj Brooks, second. Javonte Williams, Isaac Renda, Chuba Hubba, and then Tajay Spears. Another thing I look at is BMI, just most rocked up players that come into the NFL at the RB position. You got Ray Davis in the 80th percentile, Taj Brooks, Cameron Scattaboo, RJ Harvey, Ashton Genty. And the only other things that I started looking at over this past year is conference strength, because I get tired of people hearing, well, they played at a weaker conference. So now I'm putting that into my process and actually watching these players. And for me personally, I have Ashton Genty in a whole other tier. I gave him almost a perfect score. I gave him a 19 out of 20. And then right below him, I gave Travion Henderson an 18, Cameron Scatterbo, Maureen Hampton, and Caleb Johnson. I gave 17s, and then it goes from there. So that is a little bit about, well, that's most of my process right there. I hope that you guys enjoyed going through that. Hopefully you learned a thing or two, and you should learn to put the respect on this class and maybe, just maybe, draft Ashton Genty ahead of Bijan Robinson as your RB.
Well, I'm going to say this, though, Rob. I'm listening, right? Like we said before, 70, 80% of almost every statistic that you gave us was with this class. One of them being your boy Scatterbo, man. Sound like you can justify that Scatterbo being on that 1-2 turn spot that you've been putting them at. Sound like you got a justification for it, but I'm hearing a lot of good stuff about Brees Hall, man, and these stats, man. And for him to be smoking cigarettes with a monkey on the phone, not knowing what the hell going on, it's confusing to me. So I'm a Brees Hall guy, man. So I'm liking hearing these statistics and what's going on with that. But imagine if Ashton Genty and Brees Hall was in that same backfield with all those numbers you just gave us, bro. That might be crazy, man. So
and Justin Fields too.
That would be crazy, bro. That would be crazy. I would love to play defense because I ain't got to worry about, the ball getting back on this side. They're gonna run the clock down. They
could run every play. They could if they really, really wanted to. Yeah. Like the Ravens have had tons of drives like that where it was just only Lamar.
Not the Ravens a little more disrespectful though, bro. They run the ball like 15 times in a row and let you know we're gonna run it, and you still can't stop it. Like the Ravens are different, man. They disrespectful. But yeah, man, that was a good breakdown, Rock, man. You're gonna have me doing a little bit more homework, bro. Because next week, them receivers, I love me some receivers. I gotta get on the clock with that one. So but that was a good breakdown, man. We hope y'all appreciate that. If you don't want to do all the hard work and you want Rock to just put it all together for you, go back, run this back. Especially, like I said, come draft time. We got 16 days to the draft. Why not just go back, run this back, run the other episodes back, and learn the guys that's on your team? Because I know it's gonna be a lot of questions, especially with me. Now that I'm in the game, Rock, I'm gonna have people texting me, man, who is this dude? Man, who we drafted this guy? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So we talked about him 8 weeks ago, man. You should have been paying attention. So yeah, but I do like this breakdown that you got going on, bro. It's real informative. Something that I'm not seeing a lot of, and a lot of people like to talk about, just draft selections and where players should go and this and that. But a lot of times we don't see the process of the position or that guy that's getting drafted. You know what I'm saying? So I like that you doing that. Glad that this is something that we thought of and you putting your heart and soul in it, brother. So I love
talking about this. This is my favorite thing to talk about outside of food.
I was just about to say, hold on now. That ain't your favorite thing, bro, because we got to go to the next thing. Before we get up out of here, first of all, we want to say thank y'all for being here. And we know we've been had you sitting at the door. I guess you looking at your menu and all that good stuff. I don't know where my boy, where he at, right? I don't see him. He looking for something to eat, man. He ain't in the And
He's usually here. I just thought of. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name. I'm trying to think. I know his profile picture is orange though. I can't remember. But
that's why he needs to be here.
That's why he needs to be here. So to keep it going further, man, we're gonna let my boy Rock get in the kitchen, man. Let us know what he cooking this week, man. So go ahead and hook us up though, Rock. And before you do this though, Rock, I gotta remind the people, man. Hey, I thought of this morning. And let me know what you think about this, man. It's time to.
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Let's go, Rock.
Oh,
let's get it cooking,
man.
Let's get it cooking, man. You know what I'm saying? To hook my boy up. Let's see what you got cooking this week, bro. Let's get it.
Well, I really appreciate that. So I've been feeling, as you can tell, maybe a little bit with my voice, a little bit under the weather. And when I'm a little bit under the weather, I like to have soups and sandwiches. So this is going to be a very, very simple recipe, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to taste really, really good. Yeah. So this is called the Italian stack. This is based off of a very, very almost identical sandwich that we serve at the restaurant that I work at, the Italian one. So all you're going to need, it's very, very simple. All you're going to need is a pan of some kind. So I like using a cast iron. And for this recipe, you're going to want to slice up your bread. You can use any kind that you want. I like sourdough. I like French loaf, anything that you really, really want. But you want to get one of those hearty ones that they make at the bakery. Get some real nice bread. So then you want to slice that up. And just like what I taught you guys the other day, when it came to the grilled cheese sandwiches, you're going to want to put mayonnaise on each side of that bread. And you're going to want to throw some butter in the pan and get that melted. So when it starts to barely smoke, you're going to want to throw your bread into the pan with that mayonnaise and let it start cooking up and start crisping up. And then hopefully you already have all the rest of your ingredients ready to go. You can use any type of cheese you want. You can use burrata, which is what I recommend for this one right here. It's a younger mozzarella. Or you can also do a mixture of cheeses. So I still have some Fontino left over, which is one of my favorite cheeses. So you can do a blend of that. You can do anything you want, some Parmesan Reggiano. And then once you get that bread toasted on one side and you flip it, the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to take that basil pesto. You're going to want to put it on one side, and then you're going to want to take that sun-dried tomato pesto, and you're going to want to put it on the other. Those two flavors go together so damn well. You can also use fresh basil as well, but I really like the flavor that's in that basil pesto. And then once you get those on there, you're going to want to put your cheese on one side, and then you're going to want to take your trio of Italian meats. You're going to want to take your salami. You're going to want to take your pepperoni, and you're going to want to take your ham. And once that cheese starts to melt, you're going to want to put that on top. And then you're going to take that other slice of bread, and then you're going to want to put that on top right there. And this is what you get when it's ready to go. Very simple recipe.
Let's see what we got, Rock. My boy done broke it down. I had to get the hand gestures because you was flipping the bread, flat stacking on top. People had to see it, man. So let's see what we got, man. Damn. Hey, that damn give me every time, right? I don't know if I had the last. You sent me one where they was stacked on.
Yeah,
definitely sent that, bro. Hold on, I'm gonna get it up there, man. If we get up out of here, but yeah, man. I know my boy Rock was sick over the weekend, man, and like you said, nothing like a soup and a sandwich, right?
Yeah. So I made some tomato soup for that. Maybe you can take one diabolical thing that I do is also take some garlic sauce, dip it in the sandwich in the garlic sauce, and then dip it in the tomato soup. I have a whole bowl of tomato soup. Maybe I'll have only like actually 2 bites. It's only a vehicle for dipping. That's all really the soup is for and stuff like that. So absolutely love being able to do that. Yeah, so hopefully the people, they enjoyed that recipe.
There you go, Rob. There you go, baby. There you go.
There we go. So
I got you, brother.
Perfect. I really like the cast iron that has the grid marks on it and stuff like that. I got 2 cast irons. There ain't nothing like having that one where you can get those grill marks on there.
I ain't gonna lie, Rob. When I listen to you, how you break down food, bro, I know it makes me feel more of a fake chef, bro, because when you start breaking down the particular cheeses and this and that, I'm like, man, hold on, man. This ain't what I've been using. So you gonna make me want to step my palate up though, bro, a little bit. So you inspire me, man, to start getting a little more finer and richer in the kitchen, man, and not just with these basic ingredients. So I can't keep bragging about I'm throwing it down no more because my boy Rock got all these different kind of flavors and stuff, new words I'm learning every day, man. When you see this stuff on TV, you don't pay it no mind because you're like, oh, that's the food channel. They supposed to say that. But when it's somebody I know that's cooking the same way, it's like, oh, damn, I got to step my game up. So shout out to you, bro, putting that pressure on me, man.
Don't call yourself a fake chef because, everyone starts from, one spot at the very beginning of everything. And as long as you learn from other people, and like what I said with my words of wisdom last week, you become great at something when you consume from the very, very best. Sure. And I feel like I've tried to learn from the very, very best. So if you guys are learning from me, you guys are learning from some of the best in the world. And I want to try to pass that down to you guys. But it's no different than anything in life. When it comes to all these freaking metrics, I have like over 70 that I use for my rookie scouting and stuff like that. So but when you start off, you start off from just watching the game. You start off from just eating food and something that you share with one another. But if you don't have love, you don't have anything.
You ain't got nothing, baby.
Make sure that you have that as well.
I like that phrase right there, bro. If you don't got love, you don't have nothing, man. So to remind the people, man, we appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you like and subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I've been seeing we had a couple people subscribe more. So, hey, man, we appreciate y'all always tapping in. We will be back on later on tonight, 7:30, with another mock draft coming on. We might have a guest. We'll see. But either way, 12 teams. 12 people will be in there. And we're going to have a good time drafting these same running backs that my boy Rock was talking about all day today. So, Rock, man, before we get out of here, words of wisdom, or you want to give him some game, bro? How you want to call it?
So I'm super excited just for all the people being able to tune in as we grow this thing. So make sure that you hit that like, share this with other people as well. We're trying to grow this thing. We really appreciate your guys' time. I do have a word of wisdom. Be yourself all the time, whether it's at work, whether it's with your family, with your friends, online, or when you're alone by yourself. Always be yourself. If your surroundings are forcing you to be someone different, change your surroundings. And that's all I got. I'm super looking forward to tonight. And we might have a special guest coming through. So be sure to join us.